Being the lovers of fun that we are here at the Thrawn's Revenge dev team, on April 1st we put up a video with gameplay of Revan's Revenge, a mod that we first put up a video of 3 years ago, I think April 2017 on April 1st, as a sort of trailer for Revan's Revenge. And ever since we did the first one, with it being reignited with this second one, people have been asking and wondering whether Revan's Revenge is real. There's been a discussion channel on our Discord server, which is linked in the description, ever since that first video went out. Well, it's kind of come and gone. Made even more mysterious by the fact that Fall of the Republic, our Clone Wars mod, was also first announced on April 1st, as well as the Yuuzhan Vong content that we're planning for Thrawn's Revenge, which was technically initially announced as a standalone mod, but then we made the decision that it made most sense to combine those mods. That also went up on April 1st. So I thought it would be time to come clean about what this all means, as well as what it could potentially mean for the future. The main question, of course, is Revan's Revenge a mod that is actually being planned/worked on? And the answer there is yes. I tried to say it at the end of the video on April 1st, but unfortunately I somehow cut off that last word. Funny how that happens. But anyways, I've basically kept plans for various different mod projects just for my own interest over more or less the entire time that Thrawn's Revenge or Empire War Expanded has existed, and they are in various states of reality at different times. When we post stuff like that, we generally have an idea, or I generally have an idea of where they fit into our development plans, whether we have the resources to actually do it. So when the initial trailer went up in 2017, it was something that I wanted to do, but was less certain we'd be able to do. And then over the course of the last few years, the team has grown a lot, and it's become something that is far more viable to commit to. So I've kind of hinted over the last few years that it is something that I definitely plan to do, but it's only been more recently that it's really picked up some more steam within the team. And there have been things that we've been doing within the development of the mod to make it easier for us to work on different projects. This is something that especially started with Fall of the Republic, where we made it so that the kind of core functions of the mod are things that exist independent of the content. So we have the basic script library for how the galaxy level works. We have some basic game files that are shared between the different mods, so between Thrawn's Revenge and Fall of the Republic at first. And this is stuff that when we edit in one place, we wouldn't have to edit in another for different mods set in different periods or covering different content. So the game constants XML is something that is shared between both, or the planet coding is something that is shared between both, and the kind of library of trade routes, basic functions on the galactic level, like simple stuff like being able to find out which faction the player is playing as, which is something that doesn't really exist in the base game, but is something we use a lot for different story scripting elements. And it basically makes it so that we are only editing the mod-specific content, so units, heroes, and galactic conquest scenarios. And the way we have our files structured is very flexible for this. Recently, we started talking about a mod builder tool that allowed them to be kept more separate, because up until pretty recently, the files were only switched between by running a batch file, and it was kind of messy. That's why there's some things like the battle results screen that aren't changed between the mods right now, between Fall of the Republic and Thrawn's Revenge, because that's something we needed a more in-depth tool to be able to do. And being able to stack mods, so having a sub-mod enabled on top of a regular mod, is something that actually made it easier for us to kind of push forward that a little bit more, the separation of files. And when that happened, that's what allowed us to be able to actually start working on some of these projects in the background, having the work we're already doing elsewhere contribute to it, and start shifting things around in a way that allows us to kind of pick away at it as we're able to, without interrupting any of the work going on anywhere else, and without having to kind of mess up everything with the batch files. Unlike with Thrawn's Revenge and Fall of the Republic, there's not really many models and skins and stuff that can be shared between the mods, except with maybe some HUT stuff. So Terrible has made 2 new fighter models. We are still using character models from Ages of Star Wars, which is a mod that was made by several of us along with some other people about 10 years ago. So the models for Rev and Malik, everything you saw in that video on April 1st was from Ages of Star Wars. Obviously, the ship models are things that need to be replaced, but as the team has grown, it's become more reasonable for us to kind of have different mods in different periods be more viable, and it just becomes a question of content. So I can 100% confirm it is something we have active plans for. We have like a working file structure for it. We have some content for it. There's always a caveat with any modding situation, no matter how solid the plans are, how far along it is, that obviously real factors and other parts of life can interfere with it at any point. That's why there's kind of the like tongue-in-cheek announcements, the lower focus on it. So don't expect to see too much on it anytime soon, but it is there, it is being picked away at. And now that we have the files separated, projects like it and potentially some other stuff, which we've discussed as a team, is more viable. There's a lot of support for different projects within different periods within the team, and some plans have existed for them for a long time. It's just we don't want to overcommit or overpromise on any given thing. Luckily, with Fall of the Republic out at the stage that it is, it's a mod that, while there's plenty of content we can add and plenty of cleanup we want to do, a lot of the base functionality and modifying it going forward is stuff that's shared everywhere, and like it's not as expansive as Thrawn's Revenge tends to be. There's also clear breakpoints for Thrawn's Revenge where different stuff will function. So with as many active team members as we have, and maybe we'll get even more at some point, it is a lot more viable for us to start kind of spreading some of this stuff out. The more active people we have, the more robust our organizational tools, like the spreadsheets we have for statting out ships are, the quicker and easier it is for us to do a broader swath of content and manage that just as efficiently as if we were doing fewer things. So to reiterate what I've been kind of saying this whole time, Revan's Revenge is a thing that is real. It is a thing that there has been some work on. It is not a thing that you'll be getting necessarily anytime soon, but it is something we'll be playing a bit of this Sunday when we do the 12-hour stream where we're going to be covering every release of Imperial Civil War, Thrawn's Revenge, the most recent Fall of the Republic release, Ascendancy, and we're going to close it out with a little bit of Revan's Revenge in its current form from that April preview video.